experience where two have truly become one. God is at the center of us, our purpose and vision in His love. We dedicate our today, tomorrow, and always to You, our King. Bless and let there be love in our home. The marriage experience ordained by You alone. Marriage experience. The marriage experience ordained by You alone.
Welcome to the Marriage Experience program with Ayo Kunle and Boston A. Santos, where they explore what it means to cultivate a God-centric marriage, delivering realistic and biblical wisdom, pointers, and insights from couples and individuals on the marriage journey. Join them today as they share some insights.
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Marriage Experience program. We're always so delighted and privileged to walk with you in building a godly, thriving, and influential marriage that leads to an impactful family life.
Indeed, welcome to today's episode. It's always a pleasure. We'll continue our conversation around the family dynamics. In Christian parenting, the marriage relationship serves as the cornerstone. That's the foundation for the entire family structure. Remember what Psalms 11 verse 3 says, if the foundations are destroyed, what can the righteous do? So we need to have a strong foundation for anything, buildings, whatever it is that we're trying to build. A strong, healthy marital bond not only sets the tone for the household, but also provides children with a model of love, of commitment, and of partnership. When parents prioritize their marriage, it enhances their ability to parent effectively and then creates a stable and nurturing environment for their children to thrive. This, in turn, then defines the state of our society, our places of social and work gatherings, and even the church culture and environment.
Yes, marriage is not merely a social contract, but a covenant relationship designed by God. If you remember Genesis chapter 2, where God instituted marriage, verse 24 says that this explains why a man leaves his father and mother and is joined to his wife in such a way that the two become one person. Paul reiterates this in Ephesians chapter 5, verses 31 and 32, where he relates the marriage covenant to the union between the church and Christ. And when couples view their marriages as a covenant, as it should be,
yes.
From God's perspective, they recognize their commitment to each other as a spiritual bond, reflecting Christ's love for His church. And by prioritizing this covenant relationship, they are intentionally they would also intentionally invest time, effort, and love into their marriage.
That's very true. Ephesians chapter 5 verses 25 to 28 calls husbands to love their wives as Christ loves the church, and for wives to respect their husbands. Now, we've addressed this in the past, where we addressed the fact that this is an often misunderstood set of instructions. And if you'd like to learn more about it, if you go into previous episodes, I think it was probably about 4 or 5 episodes ago. Now, this relationship models sacrificial love, grace, and unity, providing a living example for children of how family expresses love one to the other. Now, God designed a marriage as a partnership where two individuals support one another, creating a stable environment for their family. A strong marriage offers emotional security for both partners and the children, fostering a sense of peace, a sense of unity, a sense of togetherness within the home.
Doesn't that remind you of the Garden of Eden?
That's very right. That's what God's design was. When God established marriage, He began by planting a garden, and that garden was a secure place of delight, of which was overflowing with abundance.
That's so true. A healthy marriage creates a solid foundation for children to grow and also to develop. When they see their parents prioritizing their relationship, it communicates a powerful message about the importance of love, respect, and partnership in life. And children learn what a healthy relationship looks like by observing their parents. I mean,
Yes,
we know the character of children as sponges, we call them.
Yeah, that just reminds me of this happened somewhere in Midlands in England. I was crossing a road at a pedestrian crossing, and the lights changed to green. Now, just before it changed to green, there
Oh, you
was
shared that story before.
yes,
Yeah.
you had the couple and their two children. The father started crossing the road before it changed to green, and he was not even crossing at the pedestrian crossing. But the wife then said, "Oh, no, no, no." She held the hands of the children and says, "No, we must obey what the light says for safety." So what we're talking about here is that children observe such kind of things. Yes, no parent is perfect, but at the
Absolutely.
same time, we want to ensure that it's not a case of do what I say, but they will do what you do.
Yeah,
When
and I mean that translates to even when parents show affection, when they show mutual respect and a strong partnership. I mean, based on even what you're talking about in how they raise the children, the examples that they lay down for their children, these things shape the children's understanding of what marriage should look like. And this modeling can have a lasting impact on how children view relationships and commitment in their own future. Uh, Children will feel more secure when they see that their parents have a strong relationship. They don't need to worry about the stability of their family when they witness their parents working together, resolving conflicts, and supporting each other. I mean, still going back to Genesis chapter 2, the Bible says that they became one flesh and they were both naked and not ashamed, meaning no secrets, no airs, they worked together as a team.
they were naked but not ashamed. Now, a stable marital relationship helps children feel safe, helps them feel valued, emotionally grounded, and it just creates a safe environment and a desirable environment for them. Now, researchers suggest that destructive conflict resolution styles between parents, we're talking here about shouting at each other or arguing, loudly, it puts children at risk for developing adjustment problems due in part to their lack of coping skills and their learned use of maladaptive skills, that is, aggressive behavior, to cope with conflict or challenging life situations. And this is the kind of environment where children learn aggression. Now, this is particularly evident during their child development years, the early child development years,
Early
called ECD
formation,
years,
yes.
where when physical, social, emotional, cognitive, and other motor development occurs. And this, according to the WHO, the World Health Organization, is between 0 and 8 years of age. So
They say, sorry, they say that children, by the time they reach the age of 7, they've already formed like the basis, the foundation of or their character or their conduct in later years, isn't it? Yeah.
yes, the picture I tend to have, when I read this statement is like wax. When it is very hot at the very beginning, it's liquid, it's easily molded, and of course, as it begins to cool, it gets less and less flexible, and it gets to a stage that it becomes brittle.
Brittle,
When you
yeah.
try to bend, it breaks.
It breaks.
Now,
Absolutely.
they're more likely, the children are more likely to experience emotional distress, anxiety, and behavioral problems in those kind of environments. Now, in contrast, children who grow up in homes with strong, healthy marriages feel more emotionally secure and exhibit fewer behavioral issues. A strong marriage fosters emotional well being in the children and contributes to a more peaceful home environment. And that is our focus on this program, to help build strong, emotional, stable marriages, which then translates, as we have seen, to strong, emotionally and stable children.
So in the busy lives of parents, it's so easy to put the marriage on the back burner, especially when children are young and require significant attention. We know
Yes,
that
of course,
too.
we know that
We
too
know that
well.
all too well. The first time our sons, I believe we've shared that story on this program before. This the first time that our sons went away. They traveled without us. We both didn't know what to do with ourselves. And that was when we realized that we had to work on being more intentional about each other. Everything always revolved around the children, and everything we did was about the children. But maintaining a strong marriage, it doesn't mean that we should neglect our parental duties. But what it helps us to even become, it helps to even become better parents. And whilst parenting is demanding, couples also must be innovative about investing in their relationship. I mean, this could involve scheduling regular date nights, having meaningful conversations after the kids go to bed, or setting aside time to pray together. We decided after that episode of us not knowing what we wanted to do with each other after our sons both traveled, we decided that once a year at least, we had to go away together for a whole week, and which we did, and God helping us. So that helped us to revive that first love, so to speak, in terms of cultivating our relationship. Now these small but consistent efforts in terms of being intentional about setting aside time, for meaningful bonding, it's it strengthens the marital bond without compromising parental responsibilities.
That's very true. Now, when parents prioritize their marriage, they function more effectively as a team, a united front in parenting decisions. It helps ensure consistency and prevents children from feeling confused by conflicting messages.
I mean, we share that too.
Yes, and now when our boys are young,
what did mommy say?
yeah,
So
that was a standard response.
exactly.
So this teamwork also provides emotional support for each parent, reducing the stress and strain of parenting. It's easy for parents to become so focused on their children's needs, and that then makes the marriage become so child-centered. We've addressed that already. Now, while children are a priority, the marital relationship must not be unattended. A child-centered marriage can lead to feelings of neglect or resentment between spouses, ultimately impacting the health of the family. So concentrating on looking after the children will then impact the marriage, which will then negatively impact the children.
Yeah.
When the marriage is strong, children benefit from the security it provides.
You're listening to the Marriage Experience program with Ayo Kunle and Bosede Santos.
Open communication and emotional intimacy are essential components of a strong marriage. We've discussed this before in previous episodes, and these elements help couples stay connected both emotionally and spiritually, and this strengthens the family. Regular open communication is key to maintaining a strong connection between spouses, and this includes discussing both the joys and the challenges of life, including parenting, financial decisions, and spiritual growth. Honest conversations help couples stay on the same page and work through conflicts in a healthy way, setting an example for their children.
Now, emotional intimacy involves being vulnerable.
That's the being naked part.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sharing hopes, fears, and dreams, and being truly present with each other. It deepens the marital bond and helps couples weather the storms of life together. Maintaining emotional intimacy allows couples to support one another during difficult seasons of parenting and life changes, which then strengthens their relationship. Physical intimacy is also an important aspect of marriage, and it should not be neglected. It strengthens the emotional bond between spouses and fosters feelings of closeness, which can then translate into better emotional and mental health. A strong physical and emotional connection. It helps couples feel loved and supported, creating a positive environment in the home.
I mean, some cultures, they are not so used to demonstrating physical
Affection.
affection, especially in public. But this is important. There's something about the power of touch. I mean, this brings me to disagreements, which are inevitable in any marriage, but how couples handle conflicts can significantly impact the health of the family. And prioritizing the marriage means learning to resolve conflicts in a way that fosters growth and understanding. The Bible provides principles for resolving conflicts in a healthy and loving manner. We all know Ephesians 4, verse 26 encourages couples not to let the sun go down on their anger, promoting quick resolution and forgiveness. We discussed all of these very extensively when we were looking at conflict resolutions. And practicing forgiveness and reconciliation as modeled by Christ helps couples to grow stronger through conflict rather than being divided by it. I believe that even conflicts
Helps the bond.
to
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
to strengthen the bond of
A marriage.
a marriage. Yeah. Now, when children see their parents resolving disagreements in a healthy, that sounds like a tongue twister.
Yeah.
When parents, I'll take that again. When parents see their, when children see their parents resolving disagreements in a healthy, respectful way, it teaches them important life skills, and they learn that conflict is a normal part of relationships. And what it does is partners can then resolve without yelling, without resentment or bitterness. And this example will prepare the children for handling their own conflicts in the future, whether with their siblings, with their friends, or even their future spouses,
Or even their bosses.
or even their bosses.
Or subordinates. Now, in the thick of life's demands and daily life, prioritizing quality time together is essential for maintaining a strong marital bond.
You can't overemphasize that.
That's true.
Yeah.
Couples should be intentional about spending time together to nurture their relationship and keep the bond alive. We've mentioned this already today, and we're mentioning it because it is that important. Whether it's true through a date nights, as we've already discussed, weekend getaways, or simply spending time together after the kids go to bed, carving out moments to connect is vital.
I mean,
Now-
I remember when even our kids were growing up, like Saturday mornings, when they didn't have, the activities, we would just remain in bed and just chat, just talk in general, catch up on the different aspects of life in general.
And this is what we refer to as quality time, and it allows couples to deepen their relationship, relax together, and rekindle the romance that the demands of parenting may sometimes outshine or even erode.
Yeah.
Couples should prioritize spiritual time together, like praying, attending church, and studying the Bible as a couple. This spiritual connection strengthens the marital bond and keeps Christ at the center of the relationship. This is also reiterating and bringing together snippets from what we had covered in previous episodes.
I mean, this is all what the marriage experience is about,
That's
to
right.
build a Christ or a God-centric
Centered,
marriage,
yeah.
where families thrive and they become an asset to the society. So in Christian families, marriage is not only a personal relationship, but also a ministry. A strong marriage has the potential to serve as a testimony of God's love and faithfulness to others. Couples who prioritize their marriage often serve together, whether through church ministries, community outreach, or mentoring other couples. This we've also said in the past. And this shared purpose strengthens the relationship and provides a model of servant leadership to for their children. A God-centered marriage can serve as a witness to friends, family, and even the wider community, like we were saying, an asset to the community. And when others see the love, respect, and partnership in a strong Christian marriage, it points them to the love of Christ, who is the foundation of that relationship.
So to round up today, we'll just recap what we've been discussing. And the first is prioritizing the marriage relationship is essential for building a healthy family. We cannot overemphasize that. A strong marriage might provide children with emotional security, with models for healthy relationships, and creates a stable, loving environment in which they can thrive. By investing time and effort into their marriage, couples not only strengthen their relationship, but also provide a solid foundation for their children's growth. We're talking of emotional growth, spiritual growth, and even relationships that they may have one with someone else.
Yeah, I mean, that, what you just said now, just, just flooded my mind with the imagery of a garden. And no wonder God, in establishing a family, God did that. God planted a garden,
That's right.
meaning that, it's how we tend a garden that we would tend to also that would attend rather also to our families, so that, using those agricultural words, they can thrive.
That's right. So ultimately, a Christ-centered marriage reflects God's design for family and serves as a powerful testimony to his love and grace. And it just occurred to me that when we keep talking about having a date night now, we need to put some clarity on that. It doesn't necessarily mean getting
Always
out and going out to spend
Yeah,
money
yeah.
and watch a movie. All those are very good, but a date night just means, if I may put it in Christian parlance, having a marriage Sabbath. What that means is that this time we've set apart is our time. You could be sitting down at home, not attending to friends, family, the phone, anything, and watching a movie together, or just sitting down and talking to each other over cups of coffee or tea or water or
Or juice.
or juice or whatever you drink. So that brings us to the end of this episode. And as always, we thank you for making room for us to be part of your marital success story. We appreciate your audience feedback at mxperience@lidiosantos.com. And all our episodes are available as usual on
the
our YouTube channel, which the handle is at Marriage Experience, as Marriage Experience without the E.
Without the E.
Now, if you're listening to this on Monday, remember there's a replay on Wednesday. And please feel free. I mean,